So, yeah, we're laying in the bed today for our live. So, come on in. Oh, man. So fucking hot, y'all. I have to be just like still because if I move around, I get so sweaty. And that's inside my house. Hey, y'all. So tonight we're going to talk about suboxone and stigma. Okay? I feel like I need to talk about it tonight. So, I haven't talked about suboxone and stigma in a long time because I thought that we were past that. I thought we were past that in the recovery community, but I'm figuring out that we're still not. So, I have been posting like a bunch on Facebook Reels, okay? Hey, Life, what's up, baby? And the more I post on Facebook Reels, the more I realize how many people are so fucking hateful and so close-minded when it comes to suboxone treatment. And I'm so tired of it. Like, I understand, you guys. I was raised up in the 12 steps, okay? Like, I understand not understanding that some people need medication. And the way I was explaining it to people on Facebook is like this. Some of us have done damage to the point where our brains can't heal unless we get on medication, okay? And I don't think some people understand that. I think some people think that we're all the same, you know? Some of us need the extra medication because of struggles with our mental health. And our mental health is actually what causes us to get high and relapse. And so getting on something like suboxone. Oh, shitballs. Oh, sorry, guys. Getting on something like suboxone can be like a lifesaver for us, you know? So I made a video on Facebook Reels called Do you get high off suboxone? Okay. That was the title of the video. Do you get high off suboxone? And I explained it just like any doctor would explain it. I talked about how, you know, when a person is not opiate naive and they take suboxone, it is just like taking a vitamin for them. It just makes them feel normal. But if a person is opiate naive and they take it, then yes, it will give them a euphoria. Then I also went on to explain that the euphoria produced by subs isn't like heroin or fentanyl or oxys. It's not a good feeling euphoria. It's like a sick, almost too much, make you want to throw up kind of feeling. It's not enjoyable. Okay, some people might like it, but in my experience, I don't like the way it makes me feel. It makes me feel heavy. It makes me feel weighed down. It makes me feel nasty. New visitor. Okay? And so that's how I was explaining it to people. I was explaining it to them that, you know, people who are drug addicts that have been shooting heroin, that have been shooting fentanyl, we do not get high on suboxone. Now, I understand that there are some people out there that are abusing their suboxone strips. I understand that some people are injecting them. I understand that some people are getting their strips and selling them for fentanyl and heroin. And you guys, I'm sorry, but that's not what we do around here. Hey, Lacey, I'm glad you're here, girl. That's not what we do around here, okay? We take our subs as they're prescribed, okay? And we talk about, like, our struggles. If we're struggling, then we talk about it and we're honest about it. So the difference between somebody who needs to take suboxone and somebody that doesn't need to take suboxone is just exactly what I told you guys. Some of us have just, our brain is damaged and there's a chemical imbalance there. And it's like when we take the suboxone, it fills this point in our brain, right? And that helps us to stay sober. It helps us to not have depression and anxiety. It like helps us in all aspects of our life. Hey, Leah. And so if you're somebody who is an abstinence-based recovery person, Why is it so hard to accept people who are on medication? Let me ask you this. Do you know how hard it is to come out and tell people that you're on subs? Yeah, it helps with pain. Do you know how hard it is to step outside of your comfort zone and say, I'm on suboxone? Do you know what it's like to be judged by your peers, by the same people that you're looking for acceptance from and validation from? Because when we're in early recovery and we're coming into the recovery community, we're coming here because we need support. And we're trying to find people who are like us. And when you have people who are like you, looking down on you and telling you, you're not in recovery, you're not sober, you're not accepted here, I cannot tell you, it's the most horrible feeling you'll ever feel in your whole entire life. Okay? It's a horrible feeling. Because isn't that all what we were trying to get to when we were using drugs? Was acceptance and love and to fit in? You know? I've been on Suboxone long enough to where when people say things that are nasty to me, I have an answer for everything now. You know what I mean? Like, I've been on subs long enough that I can fight you back with anything you say to me. If you want to talk about the 12 steps, I got the big book memorized. Okay. I can tell you all about the 12 steps. Okay. If you want to talk about the Suboxone and how it acts in our brain, I can tell you that. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing people can say to me that makes me second guess my choice. Okay. I tried to get sober for 10 years through abstinence. Okay. I was in and out of treatment programs, 30-day residential treatment programs. 2 of those treatment programs, I went to outpatient after them, and I moved into sober living. So, like, I was actively trying to stay sober. I wasn't just going to 30 days, coming out and being like, woohoo, I'm relapsing. No, I would go into treatment, y'all, and I would give it my fucking all. Maddie, you ain't lying, honey. I would give it my all. I would get a sponsor. I would listen to everything they told me to do. I got a sponsor. I started working the 12 steps. I started going to meetings. I had a spiritual experience. I started helping other people with the steps. Like, I was doing everything they told me to do. And like I said, my brain, my mental illness kept me from long-term sobriety whenever I was trying to get sober those times. I truly believe that there is a chemical or a screw or something that's not plugged in up here like other people's are. Okay? If you're able to stop drinking and drugging and work the steps and you don't have any desire to use, and that's what worked for you, dude, I am so fucking proud of you. But why would you knock somebody who is struggling, who has tried to do it your way and has not been successful? You see, I tried to stick my motherfucking foot in that damn glass slipper over 10 times. I went in and out of 12 steps and rehab 10 different times over 10 years. You know, I was doing that over and over and over and over again. And I was against Suboxone. You know why? Because all the people that I went to meetings with told me, oh, that girl over there, she's on Suboxone. She ain't really sober. Oh, you see that one over there? She's on methadone. She's not allowed to share. And so I was like, I'm not getting on Suboxone. That's just a way for people to still get high legally. And I was right there with them, thinking I was better than people that were on Suboxone. Until, guess what happened? Until my motherfucking back was against the wall. Until I gave birth to the most amazing little boy in the whole wide world. And he got taken from me. And if I didn't change my life, he would be taken from me forever. When you're put in a position where you can't afford to relapse. You can't afford to go back out, because if you do, you will be giving up your son. I'm not talking about going to prison. I'm not talking about you and your old man breaking up. I'm not talking about your parents kicking you out. I'm talking about them taking your child away. It's a big difference, and it's a lot more serious than anybody could ever understand. So when I was put in that position to have my son taken away, I knew that I could not afford to have another relapse. I could not go back out like I did every single time. I had to do something different. And that's when I chose to get on Suboxone. And it was hard to get on Suboxone because, like I said, I was literally bred and groomed in these 12-step programs. I was in these 12-step programs day in and day out, thinking that if I would just pray hard enough, and if I would just connect with my higher power more, if I would just read my 12 steps and do my meetings and go to my sponsor and do my steps, that I would be okay, that I would be so much better off. But you guys, what I'm trying to explain to you was I was doing everything the 12 steps told me to do. Every single thing they told me to do, I did it. And I tried so hard, and I kept feeling like a failure. And so after going in and out for 10 years and failing time and time again, like I kept on asking myself, like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I get it like my friends can? Why can't I grasp the same kind of recovery my friends are getting, you know? And that made me step back even more. It made me not want to go and get help because I was like, I can't get help because I'm just not getting it, you know? And so whenever Nathaniel was born and he got taken away from me, I was at a crossroads in my life. And I believe that every person comes to this crossroads. I believe that every person in their addiction, they come to a point, right? They come to a point where it's like do or die. And that's what happened to me. See, all the other times I would go back out, I would come back in, I would go back out, I would come back in. I felt like the only person that I was harming was myself. I didn't think I was really affecting anyone else. And I had no idea that I was affecting everyone, you know? But whenever my son got taken away from me, that changed my life forever. That literally changed my life. And that is when I got on MAT. And you guys, I tried to come off Suboxone in January. I fucked it up, man. I did my taper all good until the last minute. And then I took matters into my own hands. And if I can tell you guys anything at all, it's so hard when you're an addict because we want to feel great automatically. I wanted to say I'm done with this medication right away. I started my taper. I did all the way until 2022. Got all the way down to a little itty bitty sliver of a crumb. And then I said, fuck this shit, and I jumped off. If I can tell you guys anything at all, is to learn from my mistakes. Don't rush at the end. In fact, when you get down to the end, that's when you should draw it out the longest, man, and get to the most tiniest piece that you can and get as stable as you can, because I wish that I had not jumped the gun, you know? But jumping the gun taught me a lot. What it taught me was that I'm trying to get sober off of Suboxone, not because I want to do it, because I want to be accepted. That's why I was trying to do it, because I wanted to be accepted by people that weren't accepting me, because I wanted to be able to be a peer, because I wanted to be able to do this. And I am amazing right where I'm at. Like, I help so many people every single day being on Suboxone and sharing about being on Suboxone and helping smash the stigma of being on Suboxone. I don't think you guys can even understand what it's like. And you might, if you're on MAT, to feel like you have to get off of a medication that's saving your life because other people say you need to get off of it. Okay? It's so... It made me feel like, wait a second, I'm happy, I'm thriving, I have a great job, I'm making good money, I have custody of my son back, I have my family back in my life, but I want to be accepted by these people in this group of 12-step AA people or recovery people over here in Little Rock who aren't really, they don't really think that I'm in recovery because I'm on subs. You know what I mean? And I was like, why am I trying to fit in this group of people? Like, I have to find my own group of people, you know? And I'll tell you this, I still feel insecure sometimes because I'm around a lot of people that have a lot of years sober, right? I've been sober for 7 years. And I'm so proud of the fact that I've been sober for 7 years. Like, I don't think you guys can even understand what a big deal that is for me. It is a miracle my mom and my dad have their daughter back. When I tell you, my dad cried his eyes out when he finally realized that I was staying sober for real. And my dad doesn't cry. You know, he doesn't ever cry. And so for him to be so emotional and so proud of me, that's a big deal. I have never heard my dad tell me that he was proud of me except for when I was in high school. And that's before I started using drugs. All those years after that, I didn't hear anything like that ever again until now. And it's because I have truly turned my life around. I'm not the same person I was when I was in active addiction, and my mom will tell you the same thing. When I was in active addiction, I talked different. I walked different. My mannerisms were different. I wasn't kind. I was selfish all the time. I was angry, and I was thinking of myself only at all times. And now in recovery, I try to think of other people before myself constantly. Sometimes too much. Sometimes to a fault, you know? But I just want people who are in other forms of recovery, I want you to understand how much people who are on MAT, how much people who are on plant medicine want to be accepted by people in recovery. I want you to understand that you have the golden ticket and you can literally change people's lives by being kind to them, by accepting them, by lifting them up, by letting them know you're proud of them. I'll never forget this guy, Brian, I'm friends with on YouTube. He invited me to come share my story on his YouTube channel, and he's like 10 years sober, and he's an abstinent sober person. And I said, I'm on suboxone, you know that, right? And he's like, yeah, I know. And it made me feel so good because he accepted my recovery. And he said, I want people to hear your story because I have people that watch my channel that they're not abstinent. They're using medication-assisted treatment, right? And they can't relate to me. So instead of us all sitting around each other and judging each other and looking down on each other, what we should be doing is using each other's assets. Oh, that's what I want to do. That's what I try to do. Oh, I invited a girl that uses Kratom to come share her story on my channel. She backed out, but still, I invited her. You know what I mean? I invite people to come on here and share their stories that are on marijuana because I want you guys to share. I don't know what it's like. I can't relate to that. I want people to come on then share that are on methadone. Come on my channel, share your story. I can't relate. I can't share what it's like to be in recovery on methadone, but I can share what it's like to be in recovery on suboxone. And I know when I say these things, when I tell you guys about how it hurts, what it feels like to have people look at you like you're not really in recovery, I know all of you guys relate to that. I know, because here on TikTok, especially TikTok and Facebook, we have all gotten the comments from people that are just downright fucking horrible and mean. You know, now as far as mean hate comments like that, it's not even the mean hate comments that bother me, you guys. The things that really bother me are the people that I know that are in recovery who are working the 12 steps and they're judging me. Because I work the 12 steps also. And I know that my program teaches me to be loving and tolerant and kind and patient. My program teaches me that I'm not a doctor and I can't go around telling people what medications they need to take for their life, right? And I know that the program, my higher power, would not want me to treat people less than because they're not doing things the way I did them. And it goes the same way for you addicts out there who judge other people. It goes the same way for you addicts who judge women who used while we were pregnant, who judge women who have had our children taken away from us. Okay? If you're a drug addict and you're judging another woman because she struggled while she was pregnant and you didn't, be glad that you didn't get pregnant during your addiction. Be glad that you had the willpower to be able to stop. Shoot, not even willpower. Be glad that the miracle happened, honey, because it ain't even about willpower, okay? It's a motherfucking miracle, all right? And then what makes me even more upset is when I see people who say, oh, well, Jesus this, Jesus that. And then the next sentence, they're denouncing somebody like me who struggled with addiction while I was pregnant. You know, there's nothing that you could say to me that I haven't already said to myself. Okay? I beat myself down for years. Okay? For years. And I'm just now starting to try to forgive myself and try to change, try to not beat myself down. A mother who loves her son or daughter, a real mother, their guilt and shame is it's deeper than anything you could ever know. You can never understand what it feels like to know that you harmed your child and that you didn't protect your child and that your child could be hurt because of you. There's nothing you could ever say that could ever change and make me feel differently about that. There's nothing. You could tell me I'm a junkie piece of shit all day long. And I've told myself that so many times. So many times. I just wish to God there's so many people in recovery on this app. And I feel like so many things could happen on this app. So many amazing things could happen if people would put their differences aside, okay, and come together and support each other. I'm not a perfect person, but I really try hard to give every person the benefit of the doubt, no matter who they are. I really try to be fair. I really, really do. It's hard to be fair all the time because a lot of the time what happens to me, because I have a larger platform, is people will just make up lies and then they'll start telling them, and then you guys will come to me and say, Nicole, so-and-so said that you got high on crack cocaine yesterday. Is that true? And I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Like, just lies. Nicole, I heard you're scamming people because you work for self-recovery. Self-recovery is a scam. What? Like, just lies. Just lies. Made up shit, And so what I have tried to learn is that I can't spend my time defending myself against lies. If you believe the lies, then I don't want you on my motherfucking channel. If you ain't got the balls to come up to me and ask me, hey, Nicole, so-and-so said this, what's going on? Okay, then I don't want to talk to you. Don't even come near me. Be gone. Okay? Because that's what I do. When somebody says, hey, Ashley's two-faced and she said you were fat and ugly and she hates your guts, I'll go to Ashley and go, hey, did you say I was two-faced, fat and ugly and you hate my guts? And she'll go, girl, no, who told you that? And I'll say, so-and-so said that, but I just needed to make sure that you didn't say it. Okay, we're good, bye. Okay, but what people on this app do is y'all go back and forth just making shit up about folks just to entertain yourselves. Okay, just to entertain yourselves. I truly believe that, Sorry, I'm really emotional right now because, like, when I talk about medication-assisted treatment, like, it gets me really emotional because it was a hard decision to make. After 10 years of being in and out of Alcoholics Anonymous and trying to get sober through abstinence-based recovery and failing at it, and then being at a point in your life where if you don't make the right choice, it could mean you losing your son. It's really serious. And I don't think people take into consideration a lot of people's experiences and circumstances are different. Just because you were able to go to treatment for 30 days and then do outpatient and do all these amazing things, do you know how many people don't have access to that? Do you guys know how many messages I get on here, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and my email of people that don't have insurance? They don't have a dime to their name. They are they have nothing. They're destitute. They have nothing. Okay? Some people don't have the luxury of going into a 30-day residential treatment program. Okay. And even if they do go into a 30-day residential treatment program, a lot of the times, you guys, that isn't enough. It's not enough time. Okay. You go into treatment for 30 days and then you come out, and what do you do then? That's what really matters. What do you do after that? Do you understand what I'm saying? How do you manage your life out of a 30-day rehab? That's what I have. Listen, honey, I went to so many 30-day treatment centers, and like I said, I would listen to what they said to do. I would get me a sponsor. I would go to meetings. Two of the places I went to outpatient and did sober living, and I still relapsed, And so it really is like the 30 days after you get out of treatment are so important, because that is going to literally mold your recovery and what you do next. Okay. And so this time that I got sober and I got on suboxone, when I got out of treatment, I started molding my recovery. I started doing gratitude lists, calling my sponsor, going to meetings, going to therapy. Okay. And I got myself a fucking schedule, right? A schedule that I followed every single day. And I still follow it 7 years later. 7 years later, and I'm doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really is important. And so, anyways, sorry, y'all. It's just really important to me to be able to talk about medication assisted treatment, and to let people know that people that are on MAT are not less than. Okay. We're not less than. We're not taking the easy way out. If anything, you guys, people who get on medication assisted treatment, I want you to think of it like this. Excuse me. For people that want to get off Suboxone or methadone, we are actually adding an extra step. Okay. So we have to deal with wanting to taper off and get off eventually. You know what I'm saying? And so we're not getting over on anyone. We're not negating withdrawal. We're not getting away from it. Most of us, in order for us to get on subs, we had to be off of our drug of choice for like 3 days or so. So we were in withdrawal when we got on it. Sorry, my hair's driving me crazy, y'all. Yeah, it's a longer journey. It's a step added to it, And I don't think people understand that. Hold on, y'all. Tiffany wants to come up here. Ignoring her, so we'll let her see what.
Hey.
Hey, girl, what's up?
Girl.
What's up?
Nothing. You're breaking my heart crying over here. I'm like over here like, you just do so much for everybody, and I just wanted you to know that I love you and that you are doing a good job. You're
I really appreciate
really
it.
doing a good job.
I don't mean to cry. I just get,
if nothing
when
else,
I get really,
like, you're bringing a lot to it.
I get really emotional when I talk about things that I'm passionate about, and I haven't felt this like feeling in a long time, because I have been surrounding myself with people who are so supportive of my recovery, that are so supportive of multiple pathways. And so going on Facebook and being on Reels, and like, it's like so much different than what I have been surrounding myself with, that I'm like, I feel like I'm back in the war zone, trying to make sure I defend and let people know what Suboxone is about and educate people, because the things that are being said are things that like people don't even understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I really enjoy you doing that, because I don't participate in MAT, and I'm interested to know more about it. Not because it's just not my pathway, but I'm very interested to learn about all different pathways. That way, the more you learn and the more you educate yourself, the more people you can help.
Yeah.
And so I really appreciate you doing that, because you've really educated me a lot about it, to be able to help other people and to help break that stigma.
I wish that people that were peer specialists, that go to treatment, that are in recovery, I wish people would have the attitude of like, the more I know, the more resources I have, the more I can help people. Can you imagine walking around trying to place everybody into a 12-step box. Oh, 12 steps, 12 steps, 12 steps, 12 steps. That's what they did for so long. That's why I went to like 7 different rehabs that were only offering 12-step abstinence-based treatment here in the South. It's like that still to this day. Okay, there's a lot of these places that don't even offer MAT, and if you want to get on MAT or you're on it already, they won't even fool with you, and so as a person in recovery who tries to advocate and help other people, I tell people, I want you to be safe. If you're on Kratom, I want you to be safe. Make sure that you're getting it from somebody who's a reputable vendor. Make sure that you're not taking that crap from the head shops that they put all the different stuff in. If you're using medical marijuana, I really want you to make sure that if you're using that, it's legal in your state. You have a prescription at least. So that way you're protected and you're being safe. If you're going to use MAT, get in to see a clinic, methadone clinic, suboxone clinic, whatever it is. Like, I want people to be safe, and I want them to have access to different kinds of pathways, because I didn't get that offered to me. And so I felt like a failure for 10 years because I could not do it the way everybody else was doing it. And I wasn't the only one. Okay, the success rate of 30-day residential treatment programs that offer abstinence is like, what, 2% or some shit? Like, it's so low. It's unbelievable that we've even kept going with this kind of fucking treatment. Like, they should have cut 30-day residential treatment programs that do abstinence only out years ago. But it's a moneymaker, and the more you relapse, the more you come back, and the more money they make off you.
The more money they make.
You guys don't understand that. Y'all think I work for a treatment center and that I'm over here putting people in rehab all day, but I don't work for a rehab. I work for a doctor who does medication assisted treatment, and we help people, and our people don't relapse. Our people are stable. People that we have that are tapering off, we taper them off so slowly, and it takes so long that they literally get off with no withdrawal. I'm just a dumbass and didn't listen to the doctor.
Yeah, what you were saying about
sorry
places doing abstinence. No, you're good. Rehabs that do abstinence only. My husband's been in 9 different rehabs, and we're from Central Alabama, so Bible Belt, not knocking it, whatever, but like there was one rehab that he went to that they don't even let you stay on psych meds. Like, people that have schizophrenia or bipolar depression or even regular depression. Like, the one that I went to, they wouldn't let me stay on my depression medicine. And how are you going to do that? Like, how are you going to, mental health is one of the main reasons that people use to begin with. And when that's not in check, you're going to be not okay. And then they expect you to just get sober and be okay and not have your medications. Like, I don't think that's right. I think it should be offered and not like.
Go ahead.
Like the suboxone and methadone and stuff, I think it should be offered but not required. Like the outpatient treatment center that I went to, they allowed it, and they had a doctor there that would do the suboxone and methadone prescriptions and stuff. But there's not a lot around my area that are even okay with it.
Yeah, that's how it is here too. Now, I'm not going to lie. There are a lot of new treatment centers. The last treatment center I went to was Oasis, and they allowed medication-assisted treatment, but you had to be like a severe case. I came in out of detox, and they wouldn't allow me to utilize Suboxone. But there was a friend of mine. His name was Barry. He came in, and it was Darren, and they allowed Darren to utilize Suboxone. And so it was only a select few that could use MAT while they were doing their 30 days of residential treatment. And so I hope it's gotten better. I'm sure it's gotten better now, but there's still a lot of treatment centers out there that believe that, the only way to stay sober is abstinence. And this guy, I'll read y'all this guy's comment. Hey, Brittany, what's up, girl?
Hello! Oh my God, we need to try them tears up, girl, because right now it took me a second to realize that these are tears of passion, girl. Passion. Yeah. Yes, and I love the fire that's brewing inside of you to fight this stigma. When it all comes down to it, Okay, when it comes down to it, okay, essentially that's all it is. But recovery is a double-edged sword where we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. Okay, we don't like me. I'm abstinent. I have abstinence, but yet at the same time, I need my coffee in the morning. I need my antidepressants. I need to do the tools that are necessary in order for me to keep from backsliding and going backwards and stuff like that. I got to stay away from people, places, and things. And it's like when it all comes down to it, you know, there are so many people out there that wish that they could have had that when they were transitioning off of opiates or anything. Let me get a camera on. Hold on one second. I don't look too crusty. Boom. Okay. So so and it's like haters are going to hate regardless, no matter what end of the spectrum that you're on. You know?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Y'all tap that screen if you agree. Let's run this tap up. Let's run this. Let's get on the FYP.
It gets me extra heated because it's people who are like these people have multiple years of abstinence-based recovery, and it's almost like, okay, it's like this. Them Christians that go to church, and they go to church every time the doors open, Sundays, Wednesdays, revival and all that. But you're the kind of Christian
that can lead you through it.
You're the kind of Christian that goes maybe once every 2 months or something. So every time you come to church, they got them Christians that are there every time you're there. They're looking at you, seeing if you put any money in the plate around offering time and all that. That's what it's like with people who are abstinence to people that are on MAT. It's like this level of superiority or holier than thou-ness. Like, I'm going to be accepted into the gates of sobriety heaven before you are.
Yeah, that crap. Yep. Hum, and everything like that. I know what every page of the big book stands for and all this other kind of crap and everything like that.
Yeah.
But you know what? I bet you can't recite all 12 principles behind each step because you're clearly not talking about them.
Right. Oh, you know what? Okay. I just got this I got to show you all this thing. Because listen, at the end of the day, I love the 12 steps. The 12 steps help me to change my life. But it makes me mad because people get turned away from the program because of the nasty, judgmental people,
That part, that motherfucking part right there. And when it all comes to, excuse my language, okay? Sorry, we're salty down here in the South, okay?
Yeah.
So, but the thing about it though is that those connotations, like for instance, like if like me, I like to go meeting hopping. Right? I'll go to one meeting one day, I'll check it out for a while, and then I'll go to that one. Next thing you know, I'm coming back to this other meeting, and they're like, you're back, huh? And I'm like, fuck you, I didn't go.
They're assuming that you relapsed.
Yeah, motherfucker, I passed the drug test today. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's crazy. Let me read this comment to you, okay? So this guy commented on my thing, and he said, chemical freedom is the goal. I like how chemical freedom. I used for 20 years and I detoured myself for a week under medical care and have been sober for almost 11 years. No chemicals. Okay. At some point, one has to recover from all chemicals. I work in the recovery field and I issue meds to clients. I sponsor people on these meds with understanding that it has to stop at some point. Why? Why does it have to stop at some point? Because you said so. Because you're a 12-step sponsor of somebody.
Look, honey, when it all comes down to it, drinking is only a what of the problem?
It's just a symptom. It's just a symptom of your. It's not the whole problem. The problem is within us, and that's why it makes me mad because the chemicals I take help balance my chemical imbalance. That's why I'm on these chemicals. If I'm not on these chemicals, y'all don't want to see me if I don't take these medications.
Exactly.
I'll be crazy.
Exactly, because right now what you're doing is you are rectifying the side effects that another thing can have. You know what I mean? And when it all comes down to it, okay, y'all please tap that screen if you agree. Tap that screen if you agree. Would you like to continue to play Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde?
Listen to this. Okay, he says, let's define sobriety. Okay, When someone is sober, they can live daily without their thoughts and behaviors being controlled by addiction to a substance. They do not feel compelled to use it because they are successfully living life without it. Well, then if
That
that's the
is not the
definition of
definition.
sobriety, look at me. If
That
that's
is
it
not the
though, then I'm
definition.
sober because I can live my life daily without the obsession of wanting to use drugs. I
No,
take my prescribed medication as prescribed. Then I'm sober.
exactly. Okay, but the key, if you go look up the definition of sober in the dictionary, it says nothing about alcohol. It says nothing about substances. It says nothing about any of that crap. It just means sound mind. My mind has returned to being sound, strong. I'm able to be more independent. I don't necessarily have to be so dependent on those substances that I used to go fly like a bat out of hell to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got extra wound up today, you guys, because I have been posting on Facebook Reels for all of y'all that are just coming in. And I made a Facebook Reel today about suboxone because I haven't really talked about it a lot over there on my Reels. And so I made a Reel about suboxone. And when I tell you guys, like, people were ripping me to shreds, like fucking talking mad shit. And so it got me to thinking about how people, like, I'm 7 years into this. What about somebody who's watching my account or in the comment section who just got put on subs, who just started their journey into recovery, and they are seeing these people attack me and say that I'm not in recovery and that I'm not sober, and these same people are saying it in the name of their abstinence recovery. That's what makes it so bad, is that these same people are the people who say things like, I sponsor people or I work in treatment. Well, fucking you do. I don't want you to work at if I go to that treatment center, fucking let me know which one it is. I'm staying the fuck away.
You know, it's like when you look at those 5 logos, those five pictures that are framed in each room of recovery. Okay? Think first, think, let go, let God, blah blah blah, la di da. Yeah. Okay? And when it all comes down to it, it's like when the program of AA was formed, okay, it was based on patience, love, and tolerance. It was people getting together, supporting people. It was not about people condoning people, following the book to a T. The book wasn't even written. What worked was that patience, love, and tolerance, and understanding that one person had been where another person was. You are in a hole. You may not know how to dig your way out of this hole, but I've been in this hole and I could probably help you out. That's the key definition of sponsorship right there. It's getting someone through the 12 steps. It has nothing to do with, and the 12 steps broken down is trust God, clean house, and help others. Those 3 things. If you can do all 3 of those things, and it doesn't necessarily mean Jesus or anything like that, it just means trust that there is something out there that's more stronger than you. And guess what was stronger than me? Crack cocaine at one point in time. Okay? Yes, exactly, Morgan. No one that's ever faced addiction can shame another addiction, period. But no matter where we turn, we're always going to be faced with a certain stigma, whether or not you oh, wow, you're depressed. You take antidepressants. Oh, you must not be well. Or, oh, you drink way too much coffee. Or, oh my God, you're eating way too much. Or, oh my God, you spend way too much in the sun. Did you put your sunscreen on? It's something stupid as simple as that. It's the grass is never greener on the other side. But one thing that I can guarantee is that today I have some form of control over my life and the direction that my day goes in. And if it's through the help of antidepressants, if it's through the help of leaning on another addict like me, if it's coming into Nicole's life and seeing the fire lit under her ass because she's just like so fed up of the stigma out there and everything like that, then by golly, so be it, girl. You're giving me a reason to stay sober today, because you know what? The silence kills more than accepting other forms of recovery.
Yes. And that's what I told this kid. I said, man, listen, you can unfollow me if you want because I'm on Suboxone. I was like, but right there, you're saying like you work in recovery, you sponsor people. Like, as a person who works in recovery and sponsors people, like, we should meet people where they're at.
Exactly.
What do? We walk up to each, are you on Suboxone? Sorry, can't fool with you. Are you on MAT? Sorry, can't fool with you. Like, we're supposed to meet that person and say, hey, what's up? My name's Nicole. I'm in recovery. Do you want to come sit with me? Oh, what was your drug of choice? Oh yeah, me too, man. And like, let that person feel comfortable and get to know that person. Like, honestly, if a person tells you that they're on medication, you should just say, honestly, Nicole, if I walked up to you and I said, hey, Brittany, I'm on medication, what Brittany should say is, that's great, Nicole. I can't really talk about medication because I'm not your medical doctor. And then just walk past it. You should never even get into a discussion about the medications that you're on with your sponsor. And they should never tell you whether or not you can take the medications you're on as your sponsor.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What does anything, honestly, it's like, you know how the Bible was translated over and over and over and over and over again?
Uh-huh.
And a lot of it's kind of lost its true meaning and everything like that, and lost in translation. And that's ultimately what's happened to a lot of home groups, a lot of recovery meetings around the world, that, because it's like they've lost the sole purpose of, we come here to what? Recover. What is recover? Yeah. Getting my life back that I lost.
Right. Recover is to gain back what was once lost. You know what I'm saying? To gain back what was once lost. And so,
exactly.
But I feel like what has happened is people have gotten so stuck. People have gotten so stuck in fighting back and forth about what they think sober is and sober isn't, that it's like totally lost. There's like no, it sucks to go to meetings now. It sucks to be around people in recovery, because like 9 times out of 10, there's going to be some discussion about what people think is like, that shouldn't even be brought up. Like, who gives a fuck what sober is and what sober isn't? You know what I mean? Let's just accept people where they are. I'm telling you, if people would adopt this way and accept each other where each other are at, love each other, encourage each other, then there would be a lot less people dying from overdoses, because people would feel more inclined to come forward and say, hey, can I hang out with you guys? I'm still using, but I want to get sober. Sure, come hang out with us. That's what I always tell people. If you come on my channel and you're fucking still getting high, guess what, baby? This is where you need to be, because this is the best place to be if you're still getting high. We're hanging out, we're laughing, we're having a good time. I'm going crazy on the live stream, popping off. You're going to have a good time when you leave here. You're going to fucking be entertained, I'll tell you that much. And if you're still getting high, I don't mind. I want you to be able to feel safe here. And I want you to be safe while you're using, and I want you to know I'm not going to look down at you, and I'm not going to try and push you to get sober. Because some people don't want to get sober. Some people's goal is maybe just to cut back a little bit. Some people's goal is to, not be on meth, but they still drink alcohol. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's goal is different. Not everybody's goal is abstinence recovery.
Well, I mean, but there is no such thing as full abstinence.
I know, because people take coffee and sugar and all these nicotine and all this different stuff. But see, that's the thing. Those are the kind of people that they pick and choose what is mind and mood altering. We know that sugar and caffeine are mind and mood altering substances. We know that. You better believe it. Okay. People are addicted to smoking cigarettes. People are addicted to sugar, right?
Hence why I'm doing the Britney slide right now.
We pick and choose which ones you can be on. Sorry, you can't be smoke. You can smoke cigarettes and eat all the sugar you want and become as big as a house and kill yourself from sugar addiction. But you're still sober then. But you're not if you take medication.
Oh yeah. You want to talk about all that crap, but yet you're going back to that cake table on birthday night for 3 or 4 pieces of cake. Oh yeah. Then you want to play the world's smallest violin when it comes down to preaching what should and should not be done in your book.
And that's what it comes down to, is that, what one person believes for themselves. Like, if you believe that, utilizing suboxone or methadone for you would not be good, I respect that and I understand that. But don't push your shit onto me. Don't push your beliefs onto me. Let me be where I'm going to be. I'm happy where I'm at today.
It's about being safe. 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 Keyword. Safe. You know, I am safe today. I can make decisions safely today. You know, because
Yeah.
back then, oh, thank you so much for the basketballs. Because when it all comes down to it, it's about, I'm going to see that screen name right quick. Hold on.
Hot,
Can you?
sloppy, throbbing pussy.
I
Bussy.
love
Throbbing
your
bussy.
screen name. You are amazing. But like when it all comes down to it, when it all comes down to it, check this out. It's about like what can I do? And that's why this whole recovering thing is selfish and yet can be selfish sometimes. Is because what can I do to motivate you? Because at the end of the day, Jessica Lynn, yes. Jessica was in a chat earlier today. We were joking about the whole thing about like our bodies belong to the government now.
I mean,
we were, it's funny. It's funny. It's funny. I don't have to think about my body anymore because it belongs to the government. But when it but regardless though, it's like I said, in turn of spreading that experience, strength, that hope, okay? That hope, okay, guess what? It in turn gives it to me. Because you know what? I mean, sometimes I need to hear my own self-talk. Like one of the things says, what advice would you give to a friend? Usually that's like the best advice that you can give to somebody. What advice would you give to a friend?
Right.
You know what I mean?
There we go. Okay. All right.
You can see me now.
I just want people to know that, like, here it's really important to me to talk about Suboxone and to talk about being on medication assisted treatment. Like, it's really important to me, you guys. And I had gotten away from it for a while because I was distracted. I was distracted with the bullying and the bullshit that I've been getting from these certain people on this damn app. And that's what happens is when I am in my purpose and I am sharing about things that I'm passionate about, you can't scroll past this live stream. You can't stop because I will draw you in. You are like, damn, I got to hear what she's saying. This girl's got fucking something's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have been living in my purpose because I've been distracted by people that are fucking with me. And my purpose is to talk about being on MAT and to help normalize being on MAT and speaking out and being a person who is working in the recovery field and helping people. You know, a lot of people told me, you'll never work in the recovery industry. You'll never be able to help other people because you're not sober, because you're on Suboxone. And wouldn't you know it, God came and blessed me with the perfect job to where I get to help people who are utilizing Suboxone, who are looking for Suboxone treatment. What a perfect job for somebody who's going through the same thing, who has been through it. You know what I mean? People told me that I wouldn't be able to do that. People fucking laughed at me, dude. People didn't take me seriously. And I'm telling you what, like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is how people found me in the beginning on YouTube, was because I was sharing about Suboxone. One girl on my video today, she said, my counselor showed me a video and it was you and a doctor. And so people's therapists and counselors and MAT programs are showing them my videos and Dr. B's videos and other people who talk about MAT's videos. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, there's people out there who don't even know that there is a community like this that talk about Suboxone and that talk about being on MAT and share what has helped us in our recovery. You know, there's a lot of, I can't go to a meeting and say, hey guys, like, I struggle with my constipation because of my Suboxone. What do you guys do to get rid of your constipation? I can't do that with regular people. But you can do that here with us because I know what you're talking about, honey. And I got all the tricks to get that poop out.
Stop it! Oh my God.
It's true.
Girl.
It's true. You know, I can come on here and I can talk about sex drive and MAT. And normal people don't understand. But you guys who are on MAT or on mental health medications, y'all understand how your sex drive is affected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, low sex drive? How about no sex drive?
Yeah, low and no. Yeah.
So
Okay.
anyway, I love you, Brittany. I'm kicking you
Anyways,
off.
yeah, I gotta get going. I gotta put myself ready to go to live stream and stuff like that. But I
Y'all
love
go follow
you.
my boo. Go follow Brittany. She does tarot at night.
Oh yeah, yeah, and they're accurate AF. I got an 8 out of 10 rating, and the only reason why I got an 8 is because some of the good things that I predict haven't happened yet to people. So
Hell yeah. That's
they
so
said they'll give me a
cool.
10 whenever it comes true. But anyways, I love you bunches. Keep your chin up and keep fighting the good fight.
I
You're
love you,
doing good.
baby.
Love you, and give
All right.
yourself credit. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Oh, I'm so stupid at this thing. Oh, there you
go. Okay. Please go follow Brittany, y'all. She is amazing. I started getting to know Brittany probably like 6 months ago. And I just absolutely adore her. And listen to me, for those of you guys that are just coming in, like when I'm crying, please don't think that I'm crying because I'm sad or I'm hurting. I cry when I'm passionate, okay? When I talk about my son, I get very emotional because it's something I'm very passionate about. When I talk about medication-assisted treatment and the judgment and the stigma, I get a little emotional. I cry because it's close to my heart because I'm serious about it. I don't want you guys to think that I'm depressed or I'm going through some kind of thing or anything's wrong because there's nothing wrong. Nothing at all is wrong. I have just been distracted for the last 7 months, 8 months since the 1st of January. Okay. All that bullshit that was happening to me last year by those women in the recovery community, it bled into this year. Okay. And so it has bled into this year. And I was just constantly on the defense, constantly having to do live streams, defending myself, talking about what I'm about. And what I finally come to the conclusion of, like, I cannot spend my time defending myself. Like, if you have a question and you want to know an answer and you want to know what I do or what I'm about or where I work or how much I make or what I do for my job, all you have to do is come in here and ask me. That's all you got to do. I will tell you straight up. I have no problems sharing that with you guys. Shoot, I shared my motherfucking paycheck with y'all to show y'all how much I get paid every month. Okay, I don't know too many people that do that kind of shit. All right, and I get on here and I try to help you guys make money. I try to help you guys monetize your shit, and so I'm here to help people in recovery and people who are using drugs. I'm here to help y'all. Okay. I'm not here for anybody else except for you guys, really. That's my purpose, is to help people, okay, that are struggling with the disease of addiction or that have already gotten sober and need support. That's what I'm here. That's what I'm doing, why I do what I do. Okay. And I have been so distracted lately that I haven't been able to come on here and get pumped up and talk about something I'm passionate about because I've been so busy defending myself, and here's the thing. When you're doing when you're doing the right thing, you don't have to defend yourself. Your fucking actions will speak for themselves. And so that's what I have to remind myself as. Like, Nicole, what you do speaks for itself. Stop worrying about what some little peon on the internet says, So anyways, I had been getting distracted from my purpose. And I'll tell you guys, I love talking about suboxone. I love talking about this medication and what it has done for me and how it's helped me. I love educating people about this medication. Listen to me. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor, and I've never claimed to be. But I've spent a lot of time learning about suboxone so I can help other people. Yeah, there's been those times where I've said something that maybe wasn't correct, but I always come back and I correct it. I learn from my mistakes. Okay. And that's what I do. I have a true passion to help people that are on MAT. Okay. It's deep down in my soul passion. Okay. And I'm not going to stop. And another thing that has been happening to me was people were attacking me and saying that I was giving medical advice and saying that I'm going to go to prison for it and all this bullshit. When I'm not, I'm just sharing what has worked for me and what I've learned, and so that was also making me feel insecure about coming on here and doing my suboxone treatment talks with you guys, doing our medication assisted recovery meetings. All right. because I used to do these medication assisted recovery meetings every night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We would come on here and we would talk about MAT. We would talk about our recovery. We could talk about ways that we could improve our life. We could talk about how to stay sober. We talked about seeing our doctors, talking to them about tapering, talking about our struggles if we were overtaking our medication, because some people struggle with that at the beginning. Like I had so many great videos and so much good information here every night, and I started to feel insecure. I started to feel like nobody wanted to hear what I had to say. I started to feel like they were right and that I shouldn't share, and that I am going to go to prison because I'm sharing about it, and I started to believe what these people were saying, and that's what I had to realize. Like, Nicole, I'm literally a social media influencer. If the police want to come and get me, I'm right here. Okay. I've literally put my address on the internet. People know where to find me. If I'm doing something wrong, then the fucking police would already have been here. The feds would already have been here. I would have already lost my job. Okay? So I want to show y'all something though, because so it's so crazy to me, because there's this woman. She stays coming around me and stays trying to fuck with me on all my platforms. And I have just literally ignored her for so long. Okay, I've ignored her for so long. I don't say nothing to her. I don't talk to her, nothing. And this woman comes all the way over to my YouTube channel to comment shit to me. Do you know what I'm saying? And so, anyway, it's crazy to me. It's crazy. It's nonstop, dude. It's nonstop from this one woman in particular. And I just don't know. I've done everything I can do. I ignore the lady. I don't talk about her, nothing. I literally ignore her. I don't know what else to do. But it's like, can you imagine your life being so consumed by one person? It's the therapist with naloxone here on TikTok. Can you imagine your life being so consumed with me, when all I'm trying to do is help people, that you're willing to go to any lengths to try and hurt and harm me? Like, and that's what this woman has done. She called CPS on me. She's commenting on my YouTube channel still, saying that I'm a scammer. And so that's what I want to talk about. I want to show you guys this program, okay? So I work for a company called Self Recovery. And I want to show you the program, because this in particular is something that makes me upset, because I would never work for a place if I didn't 100% support what they were doing. Okay. So there is a gap in the treatment industry. Okay. What do I mean by that? There's 30-day residential treatment. There's long-term treatment. There's outpatient. There's MAT. But what about the people who don't want to go into residential? What about the people who don't want to go into an outpatient program or do MAT? What about people who want to do a program from the comfort of their own homes? What about people who want to learn about addiction and how to maneuver their way through their addiction and into recovery? What about people who want to do that on their own, on their fucking computer at home? Okay. So last year, I was working for a doctor. His name is Dr. Hockman. Okay. And I was helping him with his social media. Well, during that time that I was helping him with his social media, he had created this app, okay? And I want to show it to you guys. So he created this app, this program called Self Recovery, okay? It's an online recovery treatment program that you do from the comfort of your own home. Okay, so you come on here and you click, and I'll show you all the courses. And these are all the courses. As you can see, I've done a lot of the courses. I'm through the first half of it. Okay, I'm doing the courses also. Okay, so I've gotten all the way down to the third one in the second row of courses. Okay, so what you do is it's $99 a month. If you pay for it within the first 30 days, if you're unhappy with it, you get your money back, 100% money back guarantee. Okay. And so what it does is you come on here, and Dr. Hockman, I want to show you the videos that he does. They're legit. They're very, very good. Okay. the way the program is set up, there it is. My bad. Okay, so the way the program is set up is in videos. So you come on, you watch a video, the doctor teaches you, and then you do the work after that. Okay?
Welcome to the start of this program.
He's a board certified psychiatrist, okay? And so that's how the program works. It's totally 100% up to you. You do not have to pay or join the course if you don't want to. Okay, so during the time that I was helping him with his social media, he said, hey, if you talk about my courses, I'll pay you. Okay? And I said, well, I want to look at them first because I don't want to talk about them if I don't believe in them. Okay. And so he was like, sure. So he gave me free access to the program. And so I went into the program and I went through it and I was like, hell yeah, dude, this is awesome. And so I was like, okay, sure, I can talk about it. I don't have to post videos about it. I post one video a month, if that, only if I want to. The link is in my bio, you guys. You just click the link. It'll open up and you'll see my picture and then scroll down to the second box, click self-recovery right there. This program is for people who are like, don't want to go into rehab. Okay, maybe they're people that were like me who have tried everything and treatment just wasn't working for them. Maybe they're stay-at-home mothers who have children. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a it's for a certain demographic of people. It's not going to work for everyone, and that's what I let people know. But this is one of the things that these people try to like say shit about me because I work for. I'm sponsored by them. Well, you guys. The whole point of building a social media platform is to eventually be able to be sponsored so I can provide for my family because I'm a mother and I have to work, you know? Hold on just 1 second. So anyway, sponsorships are what they are. So that's what I wanted to clear up on here. If any of you guys have any questions about where I work or what I do that sponsorship. And then I also work for a social media marketing company and we help people build their social media accounts. And then I also work for Dr. B answering the phones for his MAP program, his harm reduction and his wound care clinic. Okay. And I run his social media. Okay, I post on his social medias for him. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Sorry. Okay. So what do you say on the reels? What do you mean, Thug Killa? What do you mean, what do I say? Explain your comment to me.
New visitor.
Yeah, that's all it is. But as far as she goes, like, I just want people to understand, like, that woman has been coming for me for over a year now. And I have tried to ignore her, and it got to the point where finally I couldn't ignore it anymore. And I reported her. You know, I reported her to the ethics board because she's supposed to be a counselor. You know, if you're a counselor or a therapist and you're online, fucking with people online, that's wrong. That's against the law. Scruffy, absolutely yes. Absolutely. I'm serious. Scruffy, I'm going to show you right now what you need to do. Pay attention, Scruffy, okay? And if you decide to sign up for it, let me know because I will do some of the courses with you. So let me show you, okay? Okay, flip camera. Oh crap, is my beacons link is there not a link up here? Anyways, you see that link that says beacons.ai.rtr? Okay, that's where you're going to go. You're going to click that link on my account. Okay. Okay. Okay, and it'll bring you up to here. See? And then you're going to go, boom, self-recovery. And it comes right here. See? So I hope that helps. Yeah. Oh, monetizing. Okay, so Thug Killer. And seriously, Scruffy, if you decide to sign up, please send me a message because I will go through some of the courses with you. And I've offered this to every person that's signed up. If you decide to sign up for the self-recovery courses and you want to do like a 45-minute face-to-face Zoom call with me and talk about the courses after you get done with each one, or if you want to go through the first module and then have a call with me at the end and talk about and discuss what you learned in the first module, I would love to do that. I have offered that to every single person that is signed up for self-recovery. And that's me just giving you my free time because I want to help you to understand what you're learning, okay? And I've already gone through the first module, so I would love to do a call with you, for 45 minutes to an hour and talk about it. Hey, Leanne. Yeah, it's a Samsung. Okay, so Thug, are you still in here? Yeah, this computer, I bought it last year because my boss was like, you need to buy a computer if you're gonna, because you need to be able to work, okay? Because my other computer was falling apart. Okay, so on Reels, you need to start posting Reels, okay? Whatever you want to post about. If you want to post about recovery, if you want to post about cats and dogs, if you want to post about being a dad, if you like mechanic shit and you want to post about cars, whatever you want to post about, as long as it's your original content, okay? After you get to posting Reels a couple times, after you reach, I think, 1,000 followers, then Facebook will send you an invite to be monetized. I think it goes by 1,000 followers. I'm not sure, but they'll send you an invite. Okay. Now on Instagram, same thing. You start posting reels, you go into your settings, you turn yourself into a creator, and then they'll send you an invite to be monetized. But that's the thing. Facebook reels and Instagram reels are paying. Okay. And like I said, I made $275 last month on my reels on Facebook. My friend Richie made $1,200, dude. $1,200. And so I'm trying to help you guys learn about how to monetize yourselves on social media. If you have a large following and you're on social media, here on TikTok, you should be reaching out to brands and asking them to work with you and pay you to talk about their products because you can do that. I made me and my friend Leslie $600 a piece talking about a brand. Okay? And that's it. I made a 5-minute video talking about this brand, and that was all we had to do. And she made one on her account. And so you have to go and seek out these brands though, because they're not going to just reach out to you. There's so many people on this app that you would be lost in the shuffle. So you have to be, boom, you have to go for it. You have to be aggressive. I mean, mine didn't take no time, like probably 30 days and I was monetized. So, okay. Hey, Rachel, what's up, girl? So let's get into it. I'm having fun talking to you guys. So does anybody have any questions, or does anybody have anything they want me to talk about? Anything that you want me to talk about. It doesn't matter what it is. Put it down in the comment section and I'll talk about it. Okay. I'm an open book. I'm not ashamed of anything at all. Okay. And let me put this out there. I'm also the kind of person that, like, let's say you did say something nasty about me and we had a disagreement, or I don't I blocked you or something, if you reach out to me and you say, "Hey Nicole, you want to talk about relapses?" Okay, girl, I got you. If you reach out to me and you say, "Hey Nicole, like I fucked up. I shouldn't have said that shit. I apologize." Then you know what? We can start over fresh and new. That's what I did with Jodeci. She reached out to me. She apologized. So we have a new clean slate. I'm a very forgiving person. So let's talk about relapses. First of all, okay, yeah, relapse. I used to relapse all the time, okay? I'm suffering with depression, the part of recovery, and stuck in bed, lost all my friends, etc. Well, you know what you need to do? You need to get involved, man. You need to get involved in some recovery places that you feel comfortable with, and reach out to some of the people in those groups and make new friends. I know it's hard though, but I'm going to tell you this, okay? You got to push yourself, because staying in bed, I know, because I had depression all winter long and I was the same way. I was coming on here, but what I did was I pushed myself to at least come on here and make live videos and talk about how I was feeling, even if I looked like a hot mess and I was crying my eyes out. I came on here and I talked about it, and that really helped me a lot. Okay, so relapses. So first of all, to have a relapse, you have to be in recovery, okay? Let's talk about that first. To have a relapse, you have to be in a recovery. A lot of people say things like relapse is not a part of recovery. It's a part of addiction. Okay? And I want you guys to hear me out when I say this. In order to have a relapse, you have to be in recovery. Okay? So actually, relapse can happen, right? It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing if you don't let it be a bad thing. Okay? If you let it be a bad thing and take you down and don't come back, then that's how it is. But you got to say, you know what? I'm not going to be ashamed. I'm not going to let people make me feel insecure about this, and I'm going to bounce back. Okay? So I was a chronic relapser for about 10 years. In and out, like I was telling you guys about. And I would get to a certain point in my recovery, like 6 to 9 months, and then I would relapse, and I could not figure out what was going on. Well, now that I've been sober for a little while, I've been kind of like reflecting on my life back then. And when I reflect on my life back then, one of the things that I struggled with a lot was letting go of the old relationships that I had made in my active addiction. Okay, like, even if it wasn't an old relationship, let's say it was somebody that I met when I moved to Little Rock that was shooting oxys. Well, the minute I found out that they were shooting oxys, I should have been like, okay, man, I can't hang out with you. But instead, I would kind of entertain that, and that's because it was like hard for me, because I went from being around people who were like wild and crazy and balls to the wall to hanging out with people that were sober, and I felt bored. I felt like, ugh, this sucks, I wanted to have some kind of entertainment or something like that. But what I had to learn is that I have to learn to be okay with just being by myself. And that it's not that I'm bored, it's that I have peace, man. It's called peace and serenity. Okay, what we have done is we have gotten so used to being in chaos and drama all of our lives that now we feed off of it, right? We feed off of it. Hold on, guys. Let everybody know I'm live over here. Okay. And I used to, listen to me, I was a glutton for punishment, like a glutton. Like I felt like I had to constantly have some kind of drama or chaos going on in my life, or else I was bored out of my mind. Do you know what now? Now I value the boredom. Now I value my peace, because now I can come home, I can relax, and I don't have to worry about all that bullshit. I don't have to worry about my shit getting stolen out of my house. I don't have to worry about somebody sleeping with my old man behind my back. Do you know what I'm saying? And when I was in my active addiction, I was constantly looking over my shoulder, constantly second guessing my life. And that's what it is about. When you get into recovery, it's peace of mind, man. And it's so amazing. It's the best thing in the whole wide world to have that peace of mind. Stasha says, or Tasha says, advice on breaking stimulant addiction. I feel like not much help for it. Okay, so there is some medication that you can take, like a MAP medication, and I'll tell you about it. So they just started doing it recently. It's not very common, but it's Wellbutrin and naltrexone. Okay, they'll prescribe you Wellbutrin and naltrexone, and that is supposed to help with cravings. So cravings for, okay, so methamphetamine addiction, okay, stimulant addiction is like a mind thing. It's a mind fuck, right? One of the hardest things for me today in my sobriety with 7 years sober is the fact that I have no energy. The fact that I feel like I'm tired all the time, and I've gained so much weight. And you know what my mind automatically tells me? Well, if I had meth, I could lose weight. If I had meth, I would have energy, you know? So I'm on Wellbutrin, and it has helped me a lot. It helped me to stop smoking cigarettes. And I think it has also helped me with my stimulant addiction. But with stimulants, you guys, you have to get in and like really get into recovery and really get connected, because it's such a psychological addiction that you're going to be like me and you're going to get sober from it, and you'll be sober a week or two or a month, and you'll be at home and you'll be like, damn, I'm so tired, or damn, I just don't have any energy, or damn, I don't want to go out and do anything with my family. If I had me a line, I could just do it, and then I would have the energy to go do it. And that is something that I struggle with still to this day with 7 years sober. Okay. And so what I have had to do is I've had to learn that, hey, maybe this is how it's going to be, you know, and I have to, it sucks because I feel like what has happened, because I used stimulants for so many years, I feel like what has happened is I have an unrealistic expectation of what energy really feels like. Okay. I feel like maybe I think I should be like, have so much energy, and that's really not what it's like. Or maybe I am right. Maybe it is that I feel like shit all the time, and that I need to get to the doctor and they need to check my hormones and all that shit, you know? But that is one of the hardest things that I struggle with, is the lack of energy and no motivation. And I go to my doctor and I say, doctor, this is what I'm struggling with. Please help me. I'm an addict and I need help. I don't want to relapse. The smart thing to do would be to put me on a medication that can help with that. Maybe like, I don't know, I'm on Wellbutrin, but what I would do is I would create some kind of MAP medication like Adderall or Vyvanse or Strattera for people who struggle with stimulant addiction. Okay, just like they have for opiate addiction, only for stimulant addiction. Because what we have done to our brains, did you know that methamphetamine is the only drug that it depletes your dopamine times 200,000. Let me show y'all something. Oh my God, I gotta show y'all something. Hold on. Let me find him. Hold on. I gotta show y'all this video. I'm so serious. I don't know how to say it because I'm not a doctor, but he's a doctor, so I want to show y'all something. Okay, so I'm fucked up. I was on opiates. Methamphetamine was my first drug, though. First drug of choice. Methamphetamine fucked me up, though, and it has fucked up my brain for life. And I truly believe that I need to be on a medication to help my fucking brain produce these chemicals so I can feel like a normal person again. But see, these fucking doctors, dude, they're so far behind, dude. They're so far behind on what needs to be done to help people like us. But let me... Hold on, I want to show y'all this video. It's very important. What, Neil? Oh, I love you too, girl. I'm over here on I'm on a roll. This video explained it perfectly, and it's my friend, Dr. Robbie. He's actually, he's a recovering addict, and he got his, he's a doctor now. He's a doctorate of psychology, I think, or psychiatry, whatever it is, but he's a doctor. And he works at a treatment center, and he's literally a recovering IV heroin and methamphetamine addict. This is the hardest thing for me, though, is the lack of motivation and the no energy. Like, I struggle with it still to this day. It drives me insane. It takes everything in my power not to make bad choices, but what I do is I use my son as motivation to stay sober, and that is my son has been enough to help me stay sober these 7 years. If for some reason, when my son turns 18 years old, I don't know. I can't promise you I might go off the deep end. I hope not, though. There he is. Okay.
Quick lesson out there for all you nerdy people. This is a picture above of methamphetamine and some of the neurotoxic effects. I just wanted to explain how meth is a little different than other substances and why it's so neurotoxic. First, methamphetamine interferes with the body's production of dopamine. So what happens is meth disguises itself as dopamine and goes into that little DAT transport you see up there, right to the left, DAT. So methamphetamine actually goes into that DAT transport, and then what happens is it unable to get into that little purple storage vesicle there. That's called a VMAT storage vesicle. And remember, stuff to be used has to get into that vesicle to be drawn down to that little hole in the bottom there to be released into the synapse. So what happens is dopamine builds up inside the cell there, right, because it cannot get into the purple area. And what happens is your body dumps what it has stored of the purple dopamine, right, in the storage vesicles. And what happens is you see the dopamine piling up inside the cell there. It starts to hang out in there and not go into that storage vesicle to be used. What happens is it actually begins to oxidize in there, and we have a process called oxidation. And when oxidation takes place, it actually starts to ruin the mitochondria in the cell. When it gets so built up with dopamine, what happens is, you see the stuff turning red in there, is the dopamine actually starts going backwards out that DAT area. We call that reverse active transport. And essentially, you have your dopamine getting ripped out of the cytoplasm of your cell. So it tears apart your cell from the inside out. Normal drugs like, not normal drugs, but drugs like cocaine just block that dopamine transporter. So more dopamine hangs out in that white area between the cells, that synapse. With methamphetamine, it goes into the cell, gets trapped, and it causes all sorts of issues because that dopamine cannot get into that second area, that storage vesicle, the purple area. So it literally rips apart your cell. Main takeaways, kind of in layman's terms, is just remember that dopamine goes into the cell, it can't get out, and it tears the cytoplasm of your cell apart. So very dangerous drug. Those are the neurotoxic effects. And that's why we're so dopamine depleted when we come off methamphetamine, because your body has been dumping it because it's trying to take up more so it can get rid of it. Thanks for listening.
That is why. And it's more than cocaine doesn't do that. Opiates don't do that. Crack doesn't do that. Only methamphetamine. Okay. And that is why methamphetamine addicts, that's why we struggle so much with depression and just feeling like shit after we get sober. If you ask 10 methamphetamine addicts that are in recovery that all have 3 or 4 years sober, if you ask them all, hey, how's your energy? How's your motivation? If you ask 10 of them, I can guarantee you that 8 out of 10 of those people would say, oh, I ain't got no energy. Energy what? Energy who? I made a video that went viral here on TikTok last year talking about energy and methamphetamine. And when I tell you, so many people commented on it and was like, yeah, me too. Yeah. And so I've been sober for 7 years and I still have that problem. So that just tells you, okay? And people will say, oh, Nicole, you need to work out. No. I have depleted the shit, you know? Come on, y'all. Okay. So, I saw somebody say something about paranoia. Epi, was that you asking about paranoia? Okay, good. I'm about to go do it right now. Okay, so whenever I got, okay, let's talk about paranoia. So one thing that I have been very fortunate of is that when I got sober, after I had like 30 days sober or so, maybe a little bit longer than that, my like the psychosis and the hallucinations, they subsided. Okay. Now I still had a really hard time feeling very anxious in public, feeling like people were like out to get me, feeling like people were watching me, and that kind of lifted with time. But if you are having paranoia or hallucinations or psychosis after you get sober from meth and you've been off meth for 30 days, you need to go to the doctor. Okay, you need to go to the doctor. I'll tell you what happened to this guy that Dr. B sees. So there's this kid that came in, and he had been off meth for like 3 months, and his mom just couldn't understand why he was still hallucinating and seeing shit. Like he was still seeing people that weren't there, he was still talking to people that weren't there, and all kinds of stuff. And he had never had issues before until he started using methamphetamine. Well, come to find out, the poor kid had basically had schizophrenia. He had schizophrenia. I guess it was like underlying that had never really showed, or he hadn't really talked to his parents about it. But he had said that he always heard voices, but he just thought, that was his inner dialogue, And so he was still continuing to have those voices in auditory and vision hallucinations. And so we figured out that he had, schizophrenia. But if you're still having that paranoia and that feeling like people are out to get you, that's totally normal. I had the same thing, okay? You have to, basically what I had to do is I had to put myself in situations and go through these situations to get through them, okay? So, like, I used to not be able to go to the gas station, okay? I couldn't go to the gas station and get a pack of cigarettes because when I walked up to the cash register lady, like, I would just start stuttering over my words. I would just be like, you know what I mean? And so at the gas, what I had to do was I had to start making myself go to the gas station and have my husband with me for support and teach myself how to react with people in society. Because I had become so accustomed to being on some sort of substance when I functioned that I could not function without substances. Okay, I'm telling you guys, 100% truth, okay? I had become so accustomed to being on something that when I would try to function like a normal human being, I couldn't do it. And I'm not talking about being dramatic. I'm talking about really struggling, you guys. I'm talking about not wanting to leave my home and having agoraphobia and not leaving for like months on end. Okay? Like, I'm talking like, and I've always been a social fucking butterfly. Okay? But it was such a huge change coming off of all those drugs that it put my body into shock. And that's what's happening to you guys, is that your body is going back and trying to reach homeostasis, okay? So your body is trying to heal and level itself out. So if you're sober off of drugs and you're still experiencing all these things, you need to go to the doctor because you might need to get on some kind of medications. I had to get on Lexapro because I was struggling so bad with my anxiety and the stuttering and shit that it was just like, and you guys hear me, like, I'm a great public speaker, okay? But I was not then. And that was because of my brain trying to heal. And don't get me wrong, like I still think sometimes that people are against me, like the paranoia kind of thing. But with that, what you got to do with that is you got to start trying to talk to yourself and tell yourself, Effie, these people love me. These people are my friends. Nobody's here to hurt me. Talk to yourself on the inside. Okay? A lot of you guys don't have any kind of positive inner talk to yourself. Okay? Hey, Libby, what's up, girl? A lot of you guys don't have any inner dialogue. All right? You have to build yourself up. You have to tell yourself, I'm going to succeed. I'm going to maintain sobriety. I'm going to kick ass and take names. I'm going to stay sober off methamphetamine. Methamphetamine ain't going to own me no more, and you have to talk and speak to yourself and lift yourself up. Because if you don't, then what happens is you allow the negative side of your brain to take over. Because I'm telling you guys, there's two different hemispheres up there, okay? There's like a side of you that tells you that you're doing great and that you can make it through anything. And then there is the side that is like, you'll never get through this. You'll never become anything. You're not going to amount to anything. You're a loser. You might as well die, right? And that is kind of like the devil, I guess you could say, or the evil side, right? Or the insecure side. That's what it is. It's the insecure, low self-esteem, still wanting to be accepted side, And so you have to build up your other side. That's what I've been doing for the last 7 years, is building up the positive side of my life, and trying to help people. And I'll tell you this, nothing helps more than getting outside of yourself and doing for other people. Okay, so if you find yourself like super duper stuck on just wanting to get high and relapse and struggling really bad with thoughts of using, then get the fuck up out of your own head and go offer somebody some support. Go reach out to another person and say, hey, are you doing okay? I'm struggling. Are you struggling? We should go to a meeting together, right? Or message somebody and say, I just wanted to let you know that you're beautiful and you're special, and give them some words of encouragement. Stepping outside of your own selfishness, there's nothing like it. It'll change your life and it'll help you stay sober too. Okay, what else do we want to talk about? I'm having a great time, y'all. Having a very good time tonight. Talking with you guys. But I'm telling you, like, if I would really go to your doctor though and have a mental health evaluation. I had to do that. Hey girl, I had to do that. I've had several mental health evaluations. Several, honey. And I'll tell you this, they change every year. Every year, my evaluation shows something different. You know why? Because my brain is still healing. And hopefully once it gets totally healed, then I will be, have one solid diagnosis. But for now, I go back every couple of years because I find myself struggling with things. And I think, you know what, this isn't normal. I need to talk to somebody about this, just like my ADD that I've been struggling with, that I've been telling you guys about. So now I'm seeking treatment and help for that because it's something that I didn't realize that I had until I got sober. And now that I'm sober, it's like, it sticks out like a sore thumb. Hold on. I'm scared I'm going to end up like don't worry about that. You're going to be fine. My sister is crazy as a lunatic, but she's the bomb too. So don't worry about it. Just go get your mental health taken care of, okay? It's not a bad thing, okay? Whatever you are diagnosed with and whatever treatment you have to take, that makes you unique, dude. That makes you unique. Like, that's something that you can help other people that struggle with the same thing. Instead of looking at it as a down thing, a negative thing, think about it as something positive, okay? My sister could look at her bipolar disorder as a bad thing. But you know what? Instead, what my sister does is she works at a dispensary, and she's able to help other people that have bipolar disorder and different mood disorders, help them to find the right kind of marijuana for themselves. You know? How doctors treat you once they know you're an addict. Oh my God. Okay, so that's a great topic. I was talking about that a couple of weeks ago on my account. So I have went to the same doctor for like 10 years, okay? Because I met him through my husband. He's my husband's primary care, okay? And my husband got him through his parents. So he knows our whole family. He knows that me and my husband are in recovery, all that. Well, I started going to him 2 years ago and telling him all about what I was struggling with. Telling him about my lack of energy, no motivation, not being able to focus, all the struggles that I was having. And verbatim out of his mouth, this is what he said. And I went to him to help me with my weight. He said, normally, hold on, I'm going to get this hair. Okay, he said, normally I would prescribe you this medication, but because you're an addict, I'm not going to. So you're telling me that this medication would be the best medication to treat me with, but because I had a history of addiction, you're not going to treat me.
I put your sushi.
Right. And so he wouldn't help me with what I needed help with. He literally looked at me and said, this medication will be the medication that helps you to get your weight in check, and it'll also help with your motivation and all that. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter. It was because I had a history of addiction that he wouldn't help me with it. And so what that tells me, doctor, is that instead of giving me the best treatment plan that you could give for me, you would rather not treat my situation because of my past history. But I've been sober for fucking 7 years, dude. And this dude knows that shit. Hold on, I gotta change. My doctor knows that. He knows how long I've been sober. He's literally watched me and my husband change our lives and, turn our whole lives around. So that's when I decided I didn't need to go to him anymore and I needed to seek out another opinion. And that's what you got to do, you guys. You just got to keep on finding people until you can find somebody that will work with you. And it's hard because right now a lot of doctors have a lot of pressure on them from the DEA and all that to not prescribe narcotic medications. But there are doctors out there that will help you, that are good doctors, Like, I'm not a relapse risk, okay? Like, if I was getting treated with proper medication, I especially wouldn't be a relapse risk, okay? But because I can't get treated with the right medication, that makes me want to self-medicate. You know what I'm saying? And so the smart thing to do would to be medicate me legally and keep a close tabs on me, keep a close eye on me, monitor me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not a doctor, so blah. Okay, let me see what y'all are saying, because we're just talking away today. I don't know why I get so emotional lately. I'm so scared, but I'm not gonna... Oh, you Effie, you gotta stop thinking like that. I'm in recovery since 2017, and I get scared. I'll always be here. So you see what I'm saying? Okay, I want you guys to all look at the comments that Effie has been leaving. Okay, I'm putting you on the spot, Effie. Look at the comments that she's been leaving over and over and over again, and I want you to see each one of them say can't, won't, afraid, never. Okay. Like, I cannot stress to you enough how much you have to change the way you're talking to yourself, okay? Like, when I tell you it is so important, like, it's more important than anything in the whole wide world. Did you guys watch the video that I put up today about throwing yourself into early onset withdrawal because of what you're thinking in your mind? Did y'all see that video? Okay, so the mind is so fucking powerful, dude. The mind is so powerful that you can be addicted to heroin, okay? And you could not have heroin for 20 minutes and think about how much withdrawal sucks and how uncomfortable you are when you withdraw, and you can start putting yourself into withdrawal. Or you can be in really bad withdrawal and get a phone call from the dope man and automatically be out of withdrawal because you're on your way to get the dope. That is how strong our minds are. I never use stimulants, drugs, but I have no energy at all. Yeah, Mallory. They can help you with that. Talk to them about it. I'm terrified I'll never be off of Matt. I'm on a slow taper. Oh, don't be terrified about that. Just focus on, just don't even worry about it. Like, what I would do is I wouldn't even think about, like, I wouldn't focus so much on being off. I would just focus on, like, what I was doing in tapering, you know? Can't stop feeling like I don't want to live anymore, and I just don't know. Effie, I'm really sorry that you're feeling like that. Like, it makes me really upset that you feel like that, hun. I'm not a doctor or anything, but if there's anything I can do to help you out, you know I will, okay? I know it's so hard because I know you guys can't understand, because I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to be in that point where you're just like at your wit's end and your life sucks and you feel terrible and you're upset 24/7. Like, I know how that feels. But I'm telling you, if you can start trying to change your thought process and start trying to focus on being in recovery, staying positive, and all the good things that have to do with recovery, then I'm telling you, if you could just change your thought process, you'll be a lot better off. Hey, Neil?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Poop.
Pooping?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was going to read up on this post office stuff too, because I was trying to do our insurance and figure it out.
Hey, you need to do the taxes.
I know, babe. I thought I was going to get home earlier today, and I was going to call.
Okay, all right.
I got to call him tomorrow. I have until the 8th. I mean, it's not like they're going to go, oh, okay, you don't know us.
Okay.
They don't care. There's so many people that probably owe money.
Okay. Yeah, you're not alone, and a lot of us feel bad like that, you know what I mean? But it's okay to feel like that. Just don't act on it. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to have bad days and to not feel good, but just don't do anything stupid, all right? All right. Okay, there we go. Okay, what was somebody else? Somebody else said something they wanted to talk about, and I lost it for some reason. I totally forgot what it was. If y'all have anything you want to talk about, go ahead and put it in the comment section. Like, I don't want people to think that I'm not trying to complain about, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help people who maybe are not on suboxone or methadone. I want those people to understand what we go through and what it's like for us that are struggling, you know? I would start withdrawing because I couldn't drive fast enough to get, yep. Joanne, that's how you, yeah, I got myself a little pair of, little shirt, right there. I do have a little glasses cleaner, but I don't use it ever. I just use my shirt because it's soft. These are brand new too. Okay, I'll see you when you come back, baby. Take your time. Take your time. I want to help people to understand, you know, I want to help open people's minds and help educate people more about medication assisted treatment. Because like I said, I really, really was against it, you guys, for so many years. And I would have never tried it if I hadn't got my back put up against the wall. You know, if I hadn't been in that situation where I was going to lose custody of my son. You know, that saved my life, getting on MAT. And I want other people to know that, you know, there's nothing to be ashamed of. One person said to me, like, my friend's on suboxone, but they don't fucking promote it. And I'm like, listen, y'all, I'm not trying to promote, trying to get everybody on subs. That's not what I'm trying to do, okay? Please understand that. I'm not trying to do that. But I am trying to share with people who might need to get on them or people who are already on them. So that way they don't feel alone. You know, that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm not trying to, like, I'm not trying to seek people out. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sell people subs or some bullshit like that. You know, I'm trying to help people that normally were like me. I'm trying to help people who were totally against it, who thought it was horrible, who are really struggling and haven't been able to get sober. I want to help those people. I was against it too. That's what took me so long to get on. Best decision I ever made. Exactly, Rachel. That was exactly what happened to me too. And I was against it. And my husband had went and got on it. And that really helped me, because when he got on it, it made me think, you know what? I have to do whatever it takes to stay sober for my son. You know what I mean? Like, I got to do whatever it takes to change my life for my child. Yeah. I'm sweating so bad. That's another side effect about Suboxone that I don't like, is sweating. And I couldn't go and talk to anybody about that. I can only talk to you guys about that. You know what I mean? So, anyway. Lisa, honestly, I don't know how much longer I'll stay on it. I've been on it for a long time. I've been on it for 7 years. And so far, it's worked really well for me. So I don't know. I was thinking about, you know, I was trying to get off last year or in January, but I don't know if I'm really that hell bent on doing it now. You know, now I'm more focused on, you know, taking care of my child, helping other people, doing the next right thing. And I'm not so focused on that anymore. I was really focused on that, you guys, like I said, because I felt this pressure. Yeah, I'm on Suboxone. I felt this pressure to get off. I felt this pressure that, you know, I wasn't in recovery because I was utilizing subs. And so I let that pressure really affect me a lot. And that's what I'm trying. I'm on Wellbutrin and Suboxone. That's why I'm trying to let people know, like, if you're like me and you're feeling pressured by other people, then that means it's not your time to get off, you know? It needs to be a 100% decision from within you, okay? Not because of what Tom, Dick, or Harry says. Not because of what Janet over there is saying over there on her TikTok account. It needs to be from you. And listen to me, when I tell you guys, I had to dig deep within my soul, because I kept telling myself, I'm doing this because I want to. I'm doing this because I want to, right? But the more I thought about it, the more I said, you know what? I'm doing this because I want to prove to everybody. I want to prove to everyone else that I can do it. It wasn't even about proving it to me. It was about proving it to myself, or proving it to other people, you know? Let's talk about that. So Thug Killa said, I'm just scared of the videos about subs that ruin your teeth. I've been on subs for 7 years, okay? Let's talk about Suboxone ruining your teeth, okay? So, first and foremost, Suboxone is acidic, okay? It has a pH of like 3.4 or some shit like that. I looked it up. We'll read it. I'll read it to you guys right now. So it's acidic. And the reason why people's teeth will decay is because of that the acidicness building up on their teeth and rotting the enamel. Okay? The acidity in Suboxone can cause a range of unpleasant side effects in your mouth, one of which is tooth decay. Many dentists have noticed that of their patients who started using Suboxone, most of them complain of new dental issues. Most of these issues are mild, okay? I want to keep reading this, but I need y'all to understand, okay? A lot of people who have Suboxone and teeth issues, they were using drugs for many years, okay? So now they're sober and they're realizing, oh wow, my teeth are starting to get bad. But you know what? Their teeth could have been starting to get bad, months ago, years ago, before they even got on subs, because they were shooting heroin, cocaine, and crack, and smoking meth. And so out of all the people who have had tooth decay, most of the people, their tooth decay, they could not say whether or not it was from subs or from their past history of addiction, okay, because of the past of all the drugs they use. So let's read this. Suboxone can cause tooth decay in addition to other dental issues. This is due to the acidity in Suboxone and the instructions for taking the medication. But tooth decay can be prevented with a few simple adjustments. Suboxone has been known to... Many dentists have noted that of their patients who start using Suboxone, most of them complain of new dental issues. Most of these are mild. Some might be serious. Okay? The most common factor that produces acids in the mouth is the activity of bacteria in the mouth. Tooth decay and cavities developed when teeth are exposed to an acidic environment. Suboxone has a pH of 3.4, meaning it is very acidic. Suboxone strips are designed to be placed under the tongue or in the cheek and held in place until fully dissolved for about 5 to 10 minutes. Holding the medicine in the mouth and allowing it to sit on the teeth for up to 10 minutes every day leads to greater contact between the teeth and Suboxone. And for many patients, up to 3 doses of Suboxone may be administered every day, which continues to increase the exposure of teeth to the acidic substance. Okay? Dentists most often find decay along the gum line. And this acidity can affect the mouth in a number of different ways, not just tooth decay. A few of these include tooth decay, dry mouth, cavities, chalky plaque buildup on the teeth, gum disease, abscesses, dental fillings, and cracked teeth. How common is tooth decay from Suboxone? A 2013 study assessed the connection between sublingual buprenorphine and dental problems. The patients in the case study had been taking Suboxone for nearly 4 years, took the medication 3 times a day, and held it in their mouth on an average of 9 minutes. The majority of the participants complained of toothaches and tooth decay, and other studies have revealed similar findings, making Suboxone a common culprit of tooth decay. However, the results are still unclear because many of the participants also smoked regularly, drank soda, used other medications that negatively impact dental health, and more. While Suboxone has been linked to dental issues, it's difficult to know whether it is inevitable. Many of those who use Suboxone also do other things to negatively impact their teeth. To prevent tooth decay from Suboxone, there are many ways to protect dental and oral health while using Suboxone. The possible effects on teeth should not be a reason to stop using Suboxone, and there are ways to prevent oral and dental damage. Okay? Number 1, take Suboxone doses all at one time, so that way you're not taking it 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. Here's how to take multiple Suboxone pills together. If 2 pills are needed, place them both under the tongue on opposite sides and avoid overlap as much as possible. If 3 pills are needed, you may place all 3 under the tongue and avoid overlap as much as possible. If this is uncomfortable, allow the first 2 to dissolve completely, then place the third one under the tongue and let that dissolve. Okay? Brush your teeth after using Suboxone. So what you would do is you'd let your Suboxone dissolve completely and then wait 10-15 minutes after it's completely dissolved and out of your mouth, and then brush your teeth. Number 3, have regular dentist visits. Number 4, lifestyle adjustments to prevent tooth decay. Avoid frequent snacking and drinking. Eating foods and drinks other than water constantly is going to encourage the bacteria in your mouth to create more acids that destroy tooth enamel. Eat foods that are good for your teeth. Some of these include fresh fruits and vegetables, nuts, cheese, yogurt, and fish. Use an antibacterial mouthwash. This will help to kill the harmful bacteria in the mouth that leads to tooth decay. So, basically, all these people who've been coming online and telling you, subs rot your teeth, subs rot your teeth, they cannot indefinitely say that it's Suboxone, because the people who are on Suboxone, they also do other drugs. Okay? So they can't say for certain that it's just Suboxone. Okay? It could be a number of things.
Yeah, I got pizza.
Daddy went grocery shopping.
Yeah, I got like the Totino's pizza.
Do y'all understand what I'm saying? And so when y'all are worried about that, you don't need to be, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of things in the world that cause tooth decay, okay? Acidic fruits, right? Drinking Coke, eating a lot of sugar. All these things rot your teeth, not just Suboxone. Bing bong. I gotta get some water. Hold on. I just don't want people who could possibly utilize Suboxone to be deterred from using it because of people saying it rots their teeth. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm telling you guys all this, because there's a lady here on TikTok that makes videos about pain management, and she's constantly dogging Suboxone and talking about how it rots people's teeth, and how she gets thousands of messages every day from people saying it rots their teeth. Well, honey, you're getting thousands of messages from a bunch of drug addicts who also used multiple substances. Most likely, 9 out of 10 drug addicts don't just stick to one drug. You know what I mean? They use a bunch of different drugs. So all those drugs are going to affect our teeth differently, you know? And so there's risks with anything. Exactly, Cassandra, exactly. There's risks with anything that you do. What you have to do, you guys, if you have to weigh out the risks versus the benefits. The benefit of being on Suboxone outweighs the risks of your teeth decaying, because Suboxone keeps you sober. Y'all hear what I'm saying? So would you rather stay sober and maybe have like a little bit of problems with your teeth? Maybe. It's not even for certain. And that's the thing. It's not even a for sure thing that you will have tooth problems. Okay? Like I said, in fact, I need to floss my teeth. The teeth problems that I have down here, I've had that before I ever got on Suboxone, because I have periodontal disease. Okay? I have what you call gingivitis. And I help my teeth by flossing to help bring my gums back up. I could come on here and be like, oh, it's Suboxone. Suboxone's rotting my teeth. Yah, right? Right. Yeah, I think that's who I'm talking about. I commented it on her page. I said, I used to really like your page until you started talking shit about subs all the time. The chronic pain community and the addiction recovery community need to come together. We're not against each other. And that's what a lot of people in the chronic pain community need to understand, is that we should all come together. Okay? I get so many comments from people saying, it's because of people like you that I can't get my pain meds. Okay. Can they really tell what, baby? And I'm like, no, it's not. I don't know who you are. I don't even live in the vicinity of where you're at. How could it be my fault? You know? How to find one, how to prepare for your first time. So there's a website that you can go onto on Google, narcoticsanonymous.com, I think. And then there's also one. Can they tell what you've used through what, baby? Through your teeth? I mean, a dentist can. Dentists can tell that kind of stuff. Like if you come in there and you have been smoking meth for a long time, yeah, the dentist is going to know what's up. Yeah. They're trained to know stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if they would be able to know, about suboxone. But, like, if you're coming in there and you have really bad teeth from your meth addiction and stuff, yeah. In fact, I went to see the dentist probably like 2 years ago, and I had a tooth in the back that had went bad. And he knows I'm in recovery, but he's like, yeah, that's, that tooth. He goes, Nicole, you don't get cavities. So that tooth decay back there is from your meth addiction, from you using meth. And it was because I would let my mouth get so dry. I would get so dry in my mouth, you guys, and I wouldn't drink any water. And that dry mouth causes tooth decay. New visitor. So if you're trying to go to a meeting, you guys, NA or AA, what you do is go on Google and Google NA meetings in your city, and it'll pull up all the times and the dates that they have the meetings, okay? And then when you go in there, honey, you just go in there, okay? You go in there. You can sit at the back or you can sit at the front, right? What I would do if I were you is I would go in. Joanne, your comment's not showing, baby. Everybody tell Joanne her comment's not showing so she knows I'm not ignoring her. What was your comment, hun? It's not showing, sweetheart. I'm not ignoring you, I promise. Okay? What's your question, hun? Whatever it is, if you're commenting and it's blocking it, then that means that TikTok is blocking the comment. So if you're if you're saying something with with a drug name in it, it'll block it. If you're saying something with that is too long of a comment, TikTok will block it. If you're saying some hateful stuff, TikTok will block it. So we can't see your comment, baby. It's not even coming through. I don't purposely ignore people's comments, do I, guys? Especially not when we have a small group like we do right now. So if you want to put your comment in the chat and modify it so it'll come through, then I'll answer it, okay? I try I try really hard to make sure I get to everybody's comments. Now, when we're on here, you guys, and I'm live and there's 75 to 100 people in here, it's hard for me then I don't, but I will ask at the end if anybody has any questions or comments or concerns, and then I will answer the questions, comments, and concerns then. So, okay. All right, well, we'll see if Joanne drops her comment. Y'all let me know because I don't want to miss it. So we're going to straighten my hair, put some heat protectant on it, and straighten it while we chit-chat, okay, guys? And I know I haven't been on here in a while and really did a good live stream, and so that's why I'm staying on here for so long. Because I haven't been on here and done a legit, really good live stream where we got to talking and interacting with each other because I've been so distracted, But I'm not distracted anymore. It's nice to have others to talk to. I know, isn't it, Lisa? I'm glad you came over, girl. Lisa came over from Facebook, you guys. Is there NA for teens? Yes, there is. Absolutely. Gosh. If you go online and look up, like, Narcotics Anonymous Teens or Alcoholics Anonymous Teens, it'll pull it up. There's also Alateen. And so, yeah, there's special meetings for teenagers. Because, you know, we're talking about teenagers that are like under 18, Thug. Not 18 and over, they go to our meetings, big people meetings. But underage have to be in like the young kids meetings. I mean, you could come to an NA meeting if you wanted to, but you could probably relate a lot more to people in the teenager meetings. Here in Arkansas, they have like a huge Alcoholics Anonymous meeting for teenagers. And they go out and they get coffee and they do all kinds of fun stuff together. It's really awesome. Yeah, honey. Isn't that cool? That's pretty cool, huh? Joanne, are you still in here? I really want to answer your question now. You got me all worried about you, honey. Oh, I guess she's not in here anymore. Okay. I live in Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas. And for those of you guys that missed the beginning of this live, I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel, okay? Yeah, that's why they have it for teenagers, because of that very reason right there. Altus, Arkansas is like 3.5 hours from me. Yeah, Indiana, Netherlands, that's so cool. Effie, I did not know that about you, my babe. Well, I bet you I could find you some hella good support online, Effie, if you want me to help you out with that. Where's everybody from? That's what we're doing. Drop your states, y'all. You don't have to give us the city, but, you know. Anybody else in here from Arkansas? Yes, I do remember when Paris Hilton went there for the Simple Life. Yes, I do, because I was probably like 16 or something, 15, maybe a little bit younger. And I thought they were so cool, you guys. Tampa, Florida. Canada. Barbie's in Arkansas. I knew that. Barbie, that one day that you had messaged me, you could have just came by, girl. I was at my house, I think, after that. I came home after I think we went to the fair or something like that. But if you ever message me and you're in Little Rock, just message me and I'll send you my address. I did too. I love Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie. Okay. That makes me mad that lady was like, you can't answer my question, like I was trying to ignore her. You know what I mean? I don't like when people do that. Because it makes me feel like she was trying to ask something that she thinks that I wouldn't want to answer or something, you know? I answer everything. I have no reason not to answer it. There's nothing I'm doing that I shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean? Oh no, girl. You could ask, I'm not going to think you're weird. People come in here and they, like I said, I have been getting trolled a lot for the last year or so it really had me, like, not focused on recovery. Okay, let's talk about suboxone and constipation. So I saw a video today of one of my girlfriends here on TikTok, and she was telling people that after she takes her subs, after she lets it dissolve completely, she spits out the nasty stuff. And so do I. Because what my doctor taught me is that if I swallow that nasty stuff, that it'll make me have worse constipation and headaches and shit like that. And so I started letting it completely dissolve and then spitting out the caca. What about you guys? Oh no, we had Brittany and them up here earlier, and we were having a good old time. I used to do the same thing. I felt like it was a waste too. Isn't that, we're so silly. That's how us addicts are. We're like, we can't waste one drop. I mean, it's to each their own. I mean, if it's not making you constipated or anything, then, do what you do. When I used to take a higher amount, though, I used to have problems with getting headaches, like really, really bad headaches.
New visitor.
Oh, okay. So, I think I'm going to get off here, you guys, and get on my other phone because this phone's ringing. I love you guys. I'm going to get on my other phone and come on here and talk for a little bit longer. And then oh, here's Joanne. Joanne, what's your question, girl? We're waiting for you. We've been waiting for you to ask your question. Okay. Oh, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to get on a different phone. Because I need to answer this phone. Okay. I love you guys. I'm going to go live over here. Okay. I'll see you in like 2 minutes. Just hang out.